In this video, we'll be tactically analysing Liverpool versus Chelsea. We'll be having a quick look at Liverpool's deep build-up and their counter-attacks, as well as Chelsea's deep build-up versus Liverpool's 3-4-3 or 5-2-3 press, and the effect of the Chelsea substitutions in the second half. With that, let's get into it. Okay, so Liverpool built up in a 2-3 deep, with Fahy, the central centre-back, pushing into a quasi-centre defensive midfield position. On the very rare occasion that Liverpool had sustained possession, she also did this where it seemed as if she was pushing into a CDM role, allowing Flaherty and Matthews to be able to pass between themselves as if they were traditional centre-backs. The Liverpool goalkeeper often sought to play long from her goal kicks, especially towards the left-hand side, unsurprisingly given that Kiernan, who was forced off, was Liverpool's top scorer last season. With this kind of build-up out of the back, Liverpool were relegated to counter-attacking through the wide spaces. Of course, this was them attempting to take advantage of Chelsea's attacking wing-backs and the space left behind by Chelsea's counter-press, and then later when Chelsea made some of their tactical changes and moved back to the spaces created by this change in formation, and just how aggressive Chelsea's fullbacks were in that later part of the game. On occasion, Liverpool did try to pass through the Chelsea press, looking to pass through the lines into Stengel, but very often, although they were getting supporting runners up the pitch, play broke down. The aim of Liverpool's play seemed to be to get the ball into those wide spaces, have those supporting runners get into the box, and eventually they cross the ball to those players for them to contest. And with that, let's have a look at an example. Okay, so then scenario in the 6th minute, Chelsea have possession and they're having it go from left to right. Liverpool were just able to deny Lauren James space on this left-hand side, and the ball deflected kindly for Chelsea to be able to pass it towards their left-hand side. Liverpool sought to press, at least when Chelsea had possession in their defensive third, with a 3-4-3 shape. On this occasion, you have Eriksson, the left centre-back, play a long ball into Kerr. This is a really good example of Buchanan stepping out into that quasi-CDM position. She'd come in from this left-hand side where she's covering. Then also you have the relatively high and wide position of one of the wing-backs. You'll have similar on this right-hand side with Liam Charles. And then here you've got Wrighton looking to make that run in behind off the flick-on from Kerr. And then this is a good example of the 3-4-3 for Liverpool, with your back three slightly disjointed here, unfortunately, and then your four in midfield. So Wrighton was able to make a lot of progress centrally off the flick on, with Kirby looking to support her. Unfortunately, the combination of Flaherty and Matthews is able to deny this pass into Kirby. And then from there, Liverpool sought to set up, and we see here what I mentioned with Fahy pushing out into a quasi-CDM role, with the other centre-backs, in this case Matthew, and then far side Flaherty staying deeper, and then your other centre midfielders in Holland and Kears taking positions higher than Fahy. Here, Fahy's position allows Laws to be able to play the ball into her, relieving the pressure against the 3-3-1-3 press of Chelsea. So we've got part of that front three here in Kerr and Wrighton. We've got the one CAM for Chelsea here in Kirby, and then you've got two of the three in that midfield of the Chelsea press in Ingle and Liam Charles. Okay, so we can kind of see the remnants of that press here as Fahy's able to fire that ball, attempting to get it here into Stengel. You can see the remnants of the press with this back three, the second centre midfield three, Kirby is the CAM, and then the far-sided forward here in Cuthbert. As Stengel is trying to get control of this ball here, you're going to have runners far side here in Kiernan and Hinds, etc. So Liverpool sought to try and build a counter-attack. Unfortunately, Buchanan is able to win the ball back and Chelsea settle back into possession. And so we have Chelsea set up in essentially like a 3-1 midfield. So you've got your centre-backs, you've got Ingle holding. Here, Kirby's dropped really deep. She's essentially the number 8 on this left-hand side with Cuthbert as the number 8 on the right-hand side. And they're going to look to try and create in those wide spaces with their wing-backs. So whether that's James or Liam Charles here on the left-hand side. Alternatively, of course, Eriksson or any of the other centre-backs can just play the ball long into the likes of Kerr or Wrighton. And that's what we see on this occasion, but Liverpool are able to deflect it and start a counter-attack, with Holland playing a ball into Stengel, who's able to lay it off then into Holland again, making a run from deep, with Kiernan looking to try and split those centre-backs and run out into a wide space. Eventually, Liverpool are able to create a crossing position from that left-hand side with numbers in the box. Okay, so Chelsea built up deep with that 2-3 shape, somewhat similar to Liverpool actually, with Buchanan the central centre-back pushing into a quasi-CDM role. However, Ingle was the centre midfielder for Chelsea who would drop to try and link play. Chelsea were happy to play the ball short or long from their goal kicks. From the long goal kicks, Musovic was looking to try and hit Kerr, who would then flick it on to Guru Wrighton running in behind. And backing up Wrighton and Kerr was Kirby and the wing-backs, Charles and James. Varied their starting position from the goal kicks, looking either to support those short goal kicks, so staying deeper, or positioning higher to try and contest second balls or provide passing options off those longer goal kicks. Okay, so Chelsea have the ball higher up in those wide spaces. They're looking for the wing-backs as well as Cuthbert and Kirby, who are playing essentially as number 8s, to combine with those split forwards of Wrighton and Kerr to create crossing opportunities for the far side players, so a forward and a wing back. As Chelsea became more desperate to try and solidify their winning position, they would also have their wide centre backs push higher up. This allows your players in advance of them to take more aggressive positions, potentially make more aggressive runs, through the fact that now they obviously have an extra player in that wide centre back in those high positions. Of course, with these players, either wing backs, number 8, wide forward, in these positions, when Chelsea lost possession, they looked to counter press and prevent the Liverpool counter attack. And with the substitutions, Chelsea moved to a back 4, and in midfield possession they had a 2-1 shape with Eriksson and Buchanan as the centre backs, and ahead of them either Cuthbert or Kankovic, typically Cuthbert, with Kankovic and Kirby playing as number 8s, with the fullbacks in high attacking positions and the forwards of James and Canarid trying to take positions in the half space to try and create a bit of confusion between the wide centre backs and wing backs of Liverpool. And then of course you had initially Kerr and then also Beth England, and they were looking to try and link or make those runs in behind for the likes of Kobe to be able to find them. And with that, let's have a look at an example. Okay, so in this scenario, Liverpool are able to rebuff Chelsea's advances on this left-hand side. Chelsea switches the point of attack to the right-hand side. Let's quickly point out Kirby, the number 8 on the left-hand side. You've got your CDM in the holding role. You've got your wing-back position high. You've got the attacking unit of the wing-back, the wide positioned forward, and your number 8. The ball gets out to James, but due to the ball being slow from Bright into James, Liverpool are able to come across. Typically, Liverpool out of possession look like a 5-4-1, so they'd have their back 5 here, and then ahead of them, the midfield and Stengel leading the line. But with the delay, Hinds, the wing-back near side, is able to try and put some pressure on James. Regardless, this is a good example of those split forwards. Got Wrighton far side and Kerr near side, with Kerr here looking to make that run in behind. Haskins is looking to pressure James, creating essentially a 1v1 in Kerr's favour. Chelsea don't like their chances on the right hand side, so they pass it back towards the left hand side, and on this occasion we see one of those centre backs, the wide centre backs here, Eriksson, make a run from deep. This kind of movement by a wide centre back, it engages, in this case, Stengel, the centre forward, which is forced to try and track, and beyond Eriksson, you want the rest of your forwards to be making runs, taking advantage of the fact that you have potentially an extra player in Eriksson in this space now. Unfortunately, it comes to naught, and Liverpool seek to play through the lines off their throw-in. Here with Stengel having dropped deep as a focal point beyond the Chelsea pressure, and she combines really well here with Koivisto, who's able to run into all this vacated space behind the Chelsea pressure, with Kiernan having come off this left-hand side, making a run towards the right-hand side into the space. Unfortunately, Kiernan is caught and injured, top scorer for Liverpool last season, and is forced off. This is a really good example of Liverpool successfully breaking the Chelsea pressure and creating a good counter-attack. And here in the 83rd minute, we have Chelsea in their 2-1. So you've got your two centre-backs in Eriksson and Buchanan, with Cuthbert as your CDM. And supporting Cuthbert in there is Kankovic and Kirby, who are playing as number 8. Here Kankovic has dropped deep to receive a short pass from Buchanan, and then looks to spray the ball out wide into Perisset, the fullback, holding the width, with Canarid, the forward, holding a slightly narrower position to keep the Liverpool defence narrow. Chelsea's players seek to try and attack on this right hand side, combine with their wing back and forward on the right hand side, but Liverpool are able to deflect it out for a corner. Having defended that corner, eventually the ball goes out for a throw in, and Chelsea are pushed back into this 2-1 shape again. Here we've got Cuthbert at left centre back with Ericsson a little bit higher, and here instead of Kankovic we've got Kirby playing at that number 8 who's dropped deeper to try and link with the defence. And then from there she does pretty much the same as what Kankovic does. She's playing it out into the white space, looking for the fullback to try and take advantage of the space allowed her by the fact that the Liverpool midfield have pushed across to try and defend this right hand side of the pitch. Okay, so Kankovic receives the ball here in this space and looks to try and play the ball into Canarid, who's found a little pocket space here between the lines and between centre back and wide centre back. Canarid tries to combine here with Cuthbert, but Liverpool are able to defend it. But Kirby is on her toes and able to play immediately just this delicious pass for Kerr, who's running in behind. Unfortunately, she gets the lines just wrong and isn't able to get a touch, which, given the distance between herself and the goalkeeper when she could have taken the touch, that would probably be in a goal. And with that, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, please give it a thumbs up, consider sharing and subscribing, maybe watching one of our other videos. If you're interested in the Women's Super League, you could have a look at our 2020-2021 tactical analysis or Women's Champions League analysis. With that, we're out.